mencionó a Arafat como un líder, no se logró nada. Luego el presidente de Egipto, al hacer la paz, cometió para mí un suicidio que a la larga iba alguien a tomar venganza. ¿Usted cree que puede haber algún líder en el presente, en el futuro, que aceptar a Israel como un Estado sin querer destruirlo ni tirarlo al mar? Si no fuera así, ¿qué solución va a tomar Israel o qué le queda hacer a Israel? La segunda pregunta: los asentamientos de ahora, de este tiempo de Netanyahu, ¿son lo que podría llamarse un bien o un mal necesario? ¿O cómo explicarlo? Digo, ¿son parte real del problema? ¿Necesitan hacerse o no? ¿O son nada más, como lo toman los demás, como una especie de provocación?
I'm going to ask you to repeat the Netanyahu part in a second, but let me try and answer the first part. Yeah, let me try and answer the first part. Western liberal democracies are predicated on the notion that institutions are more important than the individuals who make up the institutions. Supreme courts are more important than the judges, parliaments are more important than the representatives, the presidency is more important than the president. Same thing can be said for prime ministers, not just using the American presidential system here, I mean democracies in general. In the Middle East, unlike in Western democracies, in the Middle East, leaders are institutions, whereas we have institutional leadership. Do you get the distinction? Leaders are institutions in the Middle East. Leaders, not necessarily the institutions. And I'm talking about Arab Middle Eastern states. Like the King of Saudi Arabia is an institution. The King of Jordan is an institution, though he has a parliament. He is a king. The President of Egypt is an institution. Yeah, I believe that a Palestinian leader who looks over the horizon and is willing to make the compromises that are necessary and get for his people what his people want, a state, it's not impossible, it's not outlandish. Why not? But in doing so, there's a compromise that has to be made. And the compromise would have to be made with their own history. That Palestinians who live in refugee camps no longer have the right to consider the possibility of coming back to Haifa, Akko, Ashkelon, Tel Aviv, Herzliya, Jerusalem. And that is a very difficult historiographic compromise to make for Palestinians. Very difficult. I think it's almost impossible, but it's not absolutely impossible. Nothing in history is absolutely impossible. Who would have figured that the Shah would fall? Who would have figured that Saddam would invade Kuwait? Who would have figured that the Soviet Union was going to topple? I mean, who even remotely thought that, 19 Arabs would fly 4 airplanes into American iconic buildings and kill almost 3,000 people on 9/11? Who thought of these? These are right-hand turns in history. They're just right-hand turns. They're not gentle slopes. Right-hand turns are possible. They're just not anticipated, but they are possible. They are possible. Now, the question about Netanyahu, what sense are the settlements an obstacle or provocation as compared to being a real issue? No matter how I answer this question, someone's going to get really angry. The settlements changed the status quo. 1,500 dunams here, 3,000 settlers there, they changed the status quo. There's no question about it. Is the status quo reversible? Israel took out 9,000 settlers from Gaza in 2005. Compensated each one of them. But Israel is going to do the same thing for 500,000? Probably not. So what you have to do is you have to redraw the border. With land swaps. It's possible to redraw the border with land swaps. And incorporate 80% of the settlers into a new borders of the state of Israel. It's possible. The maps have been drawn up. For there to be political progress, you need political will and you need political courage. Without both, you don't get change. I mean, fundamental change. It's possible, but are leaders willing to exercise the courage and the will? And that's really what it boils down to.
Gracias. Thank you very much.